Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to another edition of Cook. Don't be lazy. That's some good stuff. Devil's juice. Speaking of devil's juice, I was accused of possibly smoking the devil's lettuce, the peace pipe, all because of my chocolate dipped oranges that I made a few weeks back. My son said that I must be smoking the peace pipe, that I must have ran out of recipes. Son, I'll never, ever run out of recipes. Because I'm a cook, and I ain't lazy. I'll be cooking till I'm dead. I'll never run out of recipes. Sometimes I like to think outside the box. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But don't ever. Son, you've known me 20... You're 20 years old. You've known me 20 years. You've never, ever, ever seen me smoke the devil's lettuce. Not even a hint of it. Devil's juice? Maybe. That's good. But never the devil's lettuce. But anyways, just wanted to get that off my chest. Today, I have a real treat for you guys. Tostones Rellenos. It's a fried plantain cup. I'm going to stuff it with, what do I want to stuff it with today? I'm going to make it with guacamole, shrimp. You'll see what I'm up to. Let's get to it. What you're looking at are plantains. This is a ripe one. This is an unripe one. We don't want to use this one. This one here is good for your maduros, your sweet plantains. We don't want to use this one. Looks like a banana, but it's a plantain. What we want is a green one. This is the one we're going to use for our tostones, our fried plantain. Ripe, unripe. We want to use unripe. These guys are a little hard to peel. You guys ever see a monkey or a gorilla? They always open it from this end. Oh, that didn't work. And that's not working either. Anyways, we need to peel our banana. How you peel it, I don't care. Get it peeled. Haha. I guess I should have Googled how to peel a green banana. Didn't realize it was going to be hard. It's been a year. It's been a couple of years since I've made this. I'm probably going to end up peeling about 2 of these guys. But for the video, I'm only going to do 1. Alright. I don't know that I want that part, only because it's not going to do me any good when I smash it. So I want kind of thick slices. Alright. I don't know, about 1 1/4 inch, 1.5 inch slices, and we're gonna fry these up. Get yourself a pan, pot, actually a pot. You're better off with a pot. You guys know I don't like wasting oil, so use a pot. Put some oil. Ah, shoot, I have no choice. I'm going to use up all the oil. That's not to say that I used, if you weren't paying attention, the whole thing of oil, but the remaining oil that I had to use all of it. Medium high, and we're going to let that reach to about 350 or so. So while we're waiting for the oil to reach about 350, go ahead and take a sip of your devil's juice. You're allowed to. Only if you're over 21. If you're under 21, drink some milk. But while we're waiting on the oil to heat up, I wanted to introduce you guys to this little tool. I think it's called a tostonera. Tostonera. So what this is going to allow us to do is going to allow us to form our tostones, our fried plantains, into cups. We're going to fry our plantains. We're going to put our fried plantain here, smash it. It's going to form the cup. It's about $10 or so. Get yourself one of these if you're planning on making this. Comes in handy. I've told you guys in a previous video, get yourself a thermometer. So I'm at about medium high, just barely past the 6 on the stove number. I'm not talking about nowhere near 7, just barely past the 6. It's been about 6-7 minutes and I'm at 350. So if you don't have a thermometer, set your oven to a little bit past the 6, medium high, for about 6-7 minutes, and you'll be right around the 350 range. Don't dunk this. You're gonna get splatter everywhere. Slowly place it in. Your oil. I'm going to do 2 batches. I don't want to overwhelm myself with taking care of too many things at once. This is going to fry for about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to eyeball it. About 4 to 5 minutes. We're looking for just a slightly brown texture, I think. I don't know. I don't remember anymore. I'll wait 4 or 5 minutes and see what happens. By the way, observation note. I have enough oil on here, in here, to barely reach, nearly reach the top of the plantain. I've got less than a 1/16 of an inch to the top. Some of the bubbling oil is going over the plantain. That's how much oil I have. I just wanted to give you an indication as to how much oil I'm using. You don't want to use too little oil. You want the entire plantain to fry, but then again, at the same time, you don't have to overdo the oil. So just enough oil to get most of that plantain. And while we're waiting for the 5 minutes to pass, 4 to 5 minutes to pass, now's a good time to drink some of that devil's juice. Alright, so get yourself a plate. As always, when you're dealing with fried foods, get yourself a plate or some sort of container. Line it up with paper so that it can absorb most of the oil. Just going to flip it real quick, only because the oil didn't quite get that side. But we're at about the 4-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and take these out temporarily so that I can smash them in the tostonera. And we're going to put it back in there to fry. Now your cups might not be perfect, and it's alright. Some are going to look better than others. I'm gonna fry them for another 3 to 4 minutes or so. That's batch number 1. Right now is a good time to make the guacamole. For our guacamole, avocado, cut it in half. I've covered this with you guys before. You want to know if the avocado's ripe? Press in it a little bit. If it's kind of smushy, it's good to go. If it's still hard, leave it on the grocery shelf. You know, I always struggle with getting that pit out. But anyways, I'll work on this one first. I'm going to try this again. You know, I saw this. Ah, it worked. I saw this on a video somewhere. It actually worked that time. Just be careful doing that if you try to do that. I don't want you to cut your arm off. Throwing this part away. Simple guacamole recipe. Don't need to overdo it. Those restaurants, I don't know how they make their guacamole, but it's like a green, slimy toothpaste. I can't stand it. I try not to eat it. In that recipe, avocado, onion, tomato, salt, done. Real simple recipe. You don't need a lot of onion. I'm probably not going to use all of this. And then you just need to smash this up. Probably get a fork. I need to get me one of them, what's it called, a molcajete? I think that's what it's called. For those who don't know Spanish, the molcajete, if that's what it's even called, is that lava stone thing with the dip in it. And it comes with a round stone. Comes in handy for smashing this kind of stuff. If your avocado isn't too ripe, you're going to have a harder time smashing it. This one isn't 100% ripe, so there's some sections that are not as soft as I'd like them to be, but it'll work. This piece here, I don't know what this, oh, it's tomato. It looked a little green. Alright. And salt. Throw in some salt. You don't want to mash it too much where it's like a puree. You want a little bit of chunks in there, small chunks. Give it a little texture. And that, my friends, I guarantee you is a great tasting guacamole dip. You don't need to add nothing else to it. It's been about 4 minutes or so. Time to get my first batch out. Once you get your first batch out, get some sea salt on it, just a little bit, while the oil's still wet. And gonna start the second batch. Now we've got our guacamole made. We're making our second batch. This is a great appetizer, by the way. You can you don't have to just use guacamole. I like guacamole, but you can fill it with anything. You can stuff it with anything. You can do ground beef with some melted cheese on top. You can do some shredded beef. Anything, anything. You know, the options are limitless. Whatever your heart desires, fill it up with. But today I'm gonna do, like I said, avocado, guacamole, and shrimp on top. Speaking of shrimp, I need to make the shrimp. So let's get to that. So for our shrimp, let me get a pot. On about medium. Melt some butter. I'm using medium. Actually, I'm using extra large shrimp. It says extra large. They don't look extra large. But peel, devein. For those who don't know, devein means they got the poo-poo out. Shrimp have poo-poo. So I don't know what kind of shrimp you're getting if you're new to this, but make sure you get the poo-poo out. Devein it, or get the devein kind. So supposedly extra large shrimp. I'm gonna keep the seasoning simple. My go-to sazon. Salt, pepper. And a little bit of garlic powder. Shrimp don't take long to cook. But a few minutes. So we'll let that cook. And I don't know what else to do right now. I guess I'm gonna have me a drink of the devil's juice. So I'm on medium, number 5 on my stove. After about 3 minutes, I'm gonna flip my scrimps. We're gonna do about another 3 minutes on the other side. Alright. Shrimp is done, I believe. Time to plate up. And this, my friends, Tostones Rellenos. Plantain cup stuffed with guacamole and shrimp. Great tasting. That's excellent. Give it a shot. You won't regret it. Until next time, cook. Don't be lazy.